Okay guys, so finally come time to make the video on the Softail. So I'm gonna unveil this to you guys. We're gonna go over it and then we're gonna take it for a ride. It's finally gonna be 80 degrees here today up in the P&W. So perfect day. I haven't started this bike in quite a while. Today's May 2nd and it was probably end of October, November since the last time it's been started. I put it away with full tank, so we're going to uncover it, unveil it, wheel it outside, go over it, tell you a little bit about it, and then we're going to take off. So stick around. Okay, so this bike is a 2010 Softail Custom. I've owned it since June of 2018. I really love this bike. I've done some things to it. For the most part, the way it looks is the way I bought it. I didn't do anything major. I bought it with the 18-inch handlebars. And I have a different seat for it, just kind of like a I don't know what brand it is because it's not branded, but it's like a regular Mustang seat, just doesn't have the backrest. That's normally what I have on it when I'm just riding around short distances or don't have a passenger or whatever. If I have a passenger, if I'm going on a long trip, I'm gonna put this one on, but this one's just on it right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave it on. But there's some things I do know about the bike, and there's some things I still don't know. I bought it and it had a built motor in it. It was originally a 96 with a 6-speed, and now it's a 107. It had the Revolution kit done to it. I bought it with 6,400 miles. I rode it for maybe 2,000 or so, and it was burning oil pretty good. So I had the top end redone. It now has Wiseco pistons in the top end. The front cylinder was just burning oil. I don't think they either didn't do the break-in process right, or something was wrong with the rings when they were originally installed. So now it's all good to go. It also had a leak coming from the starter gasket, if I remember right, or actually I think it was the seal below that. It wasn't the starter gasket, it was the seal that goes into the transmission. So I've since fixed that. I've also had to put 2 belts on it. The original one finally gave out on me one day, and then it was kind of my fault. The second one got some teeth ripped on it. After I'd had the new one on, it stretched a little bit over time, and I hadn't got back to it to check it yet. And so I went to romp on it one day, and it slipped some teeth, and pretty much just did that belt in. So I've had to do that job twice. It's a lot of work. You got to do the outer primary, inner primary. The whole swing arm has to come off just to be able to get that belt on there. As far as going back to the motor, like I said, it's a 107. Bored out now. I don't know what size cams are in it. It definitely has some cams in it. And the guy I bought it from said it was a stage 4, so it must have some kind of headwork done to it. But again, I'm not real sure. I've also never been able to take it anywhere to put on a dyno to see what it makes. I'm guessing maybe 100, if that, but somewhere around there. It does pretty good for what it is. If anybody's rode any twin cams that got some cams or something in them, they run pretty good. They don't make near as much power as some of the new Milwaukee 8s do, but this is plenty enough for me, especially right now. And this size bike, it shits and gets. So some other things I've done to it: I changed the grips out on it. It had the big foamy grips, and I just didn't like that. Put these Arlen Ness grips on there. What else did I do? I put brakes, just pads on the back and a rotor. And then for the front, I have an Arlen Ness big 15-inch rotor and a Arlen Ness 6-piston caliper. And let's see, I did that. I do need to redo the front end. It's getting a little bit of scarring right here on the tubes, and it's starting to slowly leak some oil through there. And the lowers, the chrome's starting to peel, so eventually I'm gonna get new tubes, lowers, and then obviously new seals for that. What else have I done? Just small stuff. Put the chrome voltage regulator on there. I did blue spark plug wires, and I had to have a paint correction fixed on it. I had it loaded on a trailer one day. It was actually the first time the belt broke, and I was a couple blocks away from the house, and a buddy was helping me. Well, yeah, I got it loaded up and went back to the house, and I had stepped away for a second. He was starting to unstrap it, and he unstrapped the one side, and it ended up falling over and got a little dent in the tank about right there. I was able to take it to a guy, and he got it pretty well pushed out, and then did a little bit of body work and was able to tape off this emblem, because you can't get that emblem anymore. They're screen printed on there, and Harley just doesn't offer them. So he was able to tape that off really good and fix that. It had pinstriping on it when I got it, on the tank and both the fenders, but it wasn't the greatest. It looked okay, but it just didn't match well with the bike, and it didn't look real good, and it was over top the clear. So when I had him do that work, I took the tins off, and I had him sand them all down and then stripe it, and then put the stripes in some clear coat. So now when I wax it and stuff, I don't have to worry about messing up those stripes. He did a really good job. Springle's Innovative Customs, that was in I can't remember the exact town, but it's south of Belleville, Illinois. He owns a shop there. If you just Google Springle Innovative Customs, he does some really, really good work, and he definitely hooked me up on that. Had to put a few back tires on this bike, just because these Metzlers are pretty soft, and I get on it pretty hard a lot, and it just eats those back tires away. I've got, let's see, 28,296 miles on it now. I've ridden it on 3,000 mile road trip once, and then about another 2,000 one time down to Florida when I was in Illinois. And this year we're gonna take it on probably a few thousand mile trip too. Do some recording and show you guys that in the future. I don't know exactly what pipes are on it. They are just slip-ons, but it sounds pretty good. They're similar to like a Screaming Eagle, but to me I think they're a little bit louder than the regular Screaming Eagle brand. So like I said, I'm not 100% sure on what a lot of this stuff is. I bought it from a guy that took it on a trade and didn't have it very long, and so he didn't know all the information about like the cam side and stuff like that. And I have no reason to take any of that apart to do any of that, so I haven't had to worry about that. Other than that, I haven't had to do a whole lot to the bike. Just small detail work here and there that I've done to clean it up, but pretty much bought it like this. It's got twisted spokes on the front and rear. I really like this color. It's I don't see this color very often. I follow a FXSTC Facebook group page, and there's a lot of black, burgundies, and there's even like a darker blue and stuff, but this is one of the only ones I can find in this color, and my favorite color is blue, so I really like the way this bike's set up and look. So we'll go ahead and start it up, and then we'll get moving here pretty soon. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and try to fire this thing up for the first time in a few months. You're gonna hear it's got a lot of compression to it. It could almost use some compression releases, because it's there's times where it really builds up in there and kind of has a hard time firing over, but we'll see how it does this time.
Alright, so we're on the bike now, getting ready to go through Coeur d'Alene, go by the lake. I just wanted to maybe try to show you guys that. Looks pretty cool going across the highway. Won't stay on here too long. Then once we cut off the highway on up a ways, I'll tune back in. We might just have some like no talking riding. I've never been to the place I'm going. I'm going to Pritchard. It's Tavern in Pritchard, Idaho. It's about 2 hours from my house, and hopefully it's a good little ride. Once I get off the highway, the actual highway here on 90, it's about 41 to 45 minutes north. So we'll see what the ride's like. But here we're coming up on Coeur d'Alene Lake. Coming across the bridge over here. Get a little better view of it for you guys. Once we kind of come through Coeur d'Alene here on 90, road and the countryside gets a lot more beautiful. You get more or less in the middle of the mountains and stuff. And I like that a lot better than riding on the regular highway. So it takes a little bit to get here. Not too bad. I mean, I'm probably about an hour from my house right now. So about an hour, it starts to get pretty nice. There's some closer stuff by the house we'll go by eventually, but it's not quite like this, and it's only a small stint. So like I said, I haven't been exactly where I'm going today, so I don't know 100% what it's going to look like. But from the map, it's a nice little twisty, turvy, 2-lane back road. So we should be able to just kind of chill and ride through that and see some pretty countryside. Yeah, I didn't want to bother you guys with going through the Spokane and stuff highway. Not as pretty. Figured I'd wait, bring you guys along for some better looking stuff. Got the bike fired up, let it warmed up, made sure the oil came into the tank. It was good. Put some air in the tires, they were pretty low. And I had to bleed the back brake. Along with when I did the calipers and rotors on this bike, I rebuilt both master cylinders, the front and rear master cylinder. And for some reason, I rebuilt the back one for sure because it didn't brake bad and it felt good. But when it would sit over the winter months, even just like a couple weeks in the winter, I would just lose all the pressure. And I couldn't quite figure out why. So I figured, well, I'll just rebuild the master cylinder. Hopefully that'll help it out. And it still does it. I don't know whether it's just the weather and just has a small enough, when it expands and contracts, that it kind of loses a little bit of pressure. It doesn't lose any fluid or anything. So, and then my front caliper on this, or my front master cylinder on this bike, when I first got it, was absolutely awful. I mean, I'd pull the lever halfway back. I mean, I'd almost have it all the way back to the handlebar sometimes if I had to stop hard. And I do not like not having good brakes on a bike. So that's why I did all that. But yeah, so I got all that taken care of. Now we're out on the road. This is actually the first time I've got this setup going, so hopefully it's all right. The mic feels a little close to my mouth, and I kind of keep touching with my lips, so I hope it's not going to come through, you know, staticky and stuff. But we'll see. It's kind of a test run. Bike's cruising pretty good. I've been keeping about 60, 70 most of the way. Just cruising right along. It's nice to finally be back on this bike again. It's been way too long. It's nice to be out here on a nice day again. Not have to worry about being cold or even just a little bit chilly. It gets old always having to bundle up before you ride. I mean, I don't mind. I'll ride in any weather, but it's nice to ride in nice weather. Get around this truck here. But yeah, it's starting to come more pretty countryside, like I said. So I'll probably shut the camera off for now. I don't want to waste too much battery because I'm hoping once we get off the highway it's going to be really pretty, and I may just do some video of me not talking when we go through that, but we'll see. I might chime in a little bit. So catch you guys in just a little bit. Alright, so just got off the highway. Like I said, we're going to head about 45 minutes straight north now. Right now we're at Cataldo, Idaho. There's a little campground right over there. Me and the family actually stayed there last Memorial Day weekend. That's how I know about this area here. I've wanted to come back out and ride it ever since. There's also a dirt road that kind of heads up the mountain. If you go left back there, and I really want to bring the Sportster out here sometime and ride up. There's also a campground up that road a little way. It's called Lost Moose, and I'd like to go try that spot out sometime. But I really want to take the bike, the Sportster, and go up as far as we can and see what it's like. The road we're going to be going on here now is the Coeur d'Alene River Road, and that'll take us all the way to Pritchard. Like I said, I've never been past this area here, so everything from here on out is going to be new to me, which is pretty cool. It's the best part about riding a bike, going, checking out new places, especially if it's really pretty countryside and some good twisty roads to ride on. So we'll see. I'll keep the camera on here for a while. We'll see what it looks like. May turn it on and off here a little bit. like it dropped about 10-15 degrees in that shade right there. Feels pretty good though. Again, that's one of the best parts about riding a motorcycle. You get to feel, smell, see everything. It's great. The temperature changes going through stuff like this. Warm in the sun, cool in the shade, down on the dips. It's awesome. Getting hit by bugs. Like you got some people out enjoying the river today. A couple floating, fishing, good stuff. Alright, just had a great burger and a drink here at the Pritchard Tavern. Now I'm going to get ready to roll out of here. Let you guys ride with me for a little bit. It's been a really beautiful ride. It was a great lunch. It was a really good place to stop. I'm glad I found that place. Even the bartender was saying there's a bunch of stops here along the way that people tend to stop at all those places first, and that's the last stop. Me and another couple that were there, they'd been there quite a few times, had a good conversation with them. They were saying, you know, that's the only place I've ever stopped, and I may stop at one down here just to check it out, but I'll definitely be back to that place. Great atmosphere, beautiful spot, good food, good drinks, met good people. It was just kind of a perfect place for a bar like that. I like being able to take a good ride, you know, a couple hours and go out there and hang out. So we'll definitely do that. They do Friday night steak nights, so I may be out for that again sometime, but we'll see. I also really love going to new places, so may check out some new spots eventually too, but hoping to do a little more riding this year around here. I mean, I'm gonna go on that big road trip later in August this year, but just around here, I want to be able to get out and start exploring more. I mean, I'm in a beautiful area right now. I'm stationed up here, and I really want to make the best of it and try to go to many different places around here as I can. Especially with the Sportster, that's the big reason why I built the Sportster, is because there's so many like mountain roads of just gravel that I can drive up and, you know, make up to the top or just around out in that area. And it's something that I wouldn't normally be able to do in other places. So that's why I wanted to do that with that bike. So I really want to start putting that to use this year too. Haven't really done that yet since I built it. I got it done early last summer. So I need to get it out in a couple places, make some videos and show you guys some cool places I've been, or that I plan on going. But yeah, it's a really beautiful area up here. Even if I do have to ride a little bit to get to it, it's worth it. Especially during the summer when it starts warming up in the morning, I can go all day long and just ride out here, you know, go find some place, have some breakfast, go ride for a couple more hours, find another place, have a burger and a beer for lunch, and ride back towards home and find another place, have a drink before I go home, and cook my own steak on the grill or something like that. It's just stuff like that's great. I love adventuring and checking out new stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and shut the camera off for a little bit and bring you back maybe a little later for a couple things. I got something planned for us, so might be pretty cool. Well, shit. Sorry guys, I just looked at the footage at the last bar and I realized you guys are looking like down here the whole time because of the way my helmet is. So anyways, we're gonna get on the interstate, just kind of do a quick little pull for you getting on, and then I'll probably shut it back off, but hopefully this will look a little better. I don't know how good that came out, but hopefully it looks cool as it felt. It's always fun to do that every once in a while. But I'm gonna slow it back down and cruise on home now, so see you guys later. Alright, so there's this bar here on the state line of Idaho called Cruisers 1. I'm not gonna stop because I'm gonna go over and have beer with my friends, but it was on the way and I just had to stop and fuel up, so I wanted to show you guys real quick. It's a pretty unique feature of this place. I think it's kind of badass. I've only done it one other time with the Sportster, so we're gonna do it today with this bike. I almost feel bad for not stopping now, but just had to do it, man. It's pretty cool to be able to drive through a building like that with a bunch of people having beers. Alright, we'll see you guys later.
Alright, so we're back. It's the next day. I put, I think, 203 miles on yesterday, so not too bad. Probably could have rode one more, but like I said, I went and hung out with my friends for a little bit, and then came home and ate dinner with the family. So, and then after that, I came out and started working in the garage a little bit. We're going to start this next video going on with the forward controls. So that's what we're going to get ready and start doing now too. That's the next day. I'm going to hang out in the garage today and work out here on some stuff. But we got the ride done, and we had a good time. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video of getting to check out this bike and kind of the first test of the moto vlog. A lot of my footage definitely didn't come out as good as I was hoping, just because like I said earlier in the video, I didn't know about that camera angle, and it kind of messed some of that good footage up. But I'll kind of work on that and try to figure out a little bit better way to mount the camera to my helmet, because right now I just have a deal that straps around the front piece, so I can switch in between helmets, and that part's fine. It's just the way it was angled, I might have to flip that deal around or something. But I'll work on it. I'll test it some more. I probably should have tested it before I tried to do that video, but that video this video kind of was the test. So anyways, until next week, enjoy.